All right, hello everybody. This is not a typical intro because me and Jens are obviously the only ones on the podcast. We don't know where Fancy is. This is not going to be a traditional intro whatsoever where I'm the only one here because there are some serious things we do have to talk about on this podcast. So you may know we do get political on this show when needed, and in this case, we absolutely have to given everything that has been going on. So the first thing we're going to talk about, we'll talk about coach firings, hirings, we'll talk about conference championship game, we'll talk about draft, all of that later. First, we have to talk about ICE. Right? And if we were not doing this, we would rightfully be called out as Trump supporters and suddenly become right-wing influencers, which we don't want to do. We don't want to become Barstool, all right? So let's start out with that. But it's just more than that as well, right? So if you've not heard, ISIS killed 9 people. I don't know if 9 people this year, but
This year.
This year, thank you. Keith Porter, Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Parde Lee, Heber Sanchez Dominguez, Victor Manuel Diaz, Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz, Luis Gustavo Nunez Casqueras, and Gerardo Lunas Campos, who died in ICE custody. Now, as much as painful as this is, obviously for everybody involved, whether it be in Minneapolis, the family in the detention centers were legitimately fucking inhabitable, some of the worst conditions you will ever see. It's heartbreaking, right? Obviously, what is going on is not right, plain and simple. This administration is some bunch of the biggest fucking cowards you've ever seen in your life, right? I mean, we have slave catchers roaming the streets of Minneapolis. We have Nazis in office, right? We have, how do I say this? We have some of the most incompetent fucks in our presidency's history, and that's saying a lot because there are a fuck ton of people who are incompetent. Our DHS secretary, if I put this quite mildly, is only in the job to get fucked by as many people as possible. And I mean that literally, yes. There is a lot, right? Stephen Miller, the biggest son of the bitch of it all, in my opinion. The Nazi who I think is leading all this, where Trump has literally said he is more pro-agenda of what they're doing than he is, right? You have J.D. Vance, who sold his soul to Peter Thiel, and all of this shit that is going on, right? And he's trying to fucking, how do I say this? He's trying to justify all this and basically manipulate the fuck out of everything, right? You have an administration who wants the assassination of a congresswoman, as we saw with Ilhan Omar. I believe it was last night. This administration is going to be the worst of the century, I hope. Except if it's Nick Fuentes as president. Then that's a whole nother conversation. But
That's not possible.
I don't think that's impossible, unfortunately, given the circumstances. But yeah, I hope he isn't, but he'll probably be the nominee one day because that Republicans want to cater him so fucking bad. But all of this to say, it's not surprising if you look at American history, to put it quite mildly, because we've seen this time after time after time of government going after civilians. Maybe not in the broad fucking daylight that ICE has been doing, but I can bring up through history, slaves getting killed for rebellion, right? I can talk about the 1985 Philly bombs, right? I can talk about so many different events, right? This is not a pattern. This is a pattern, right, throughout history, right? Obviously, this is a more extreme version of pattern in modern day context. Although I do think the equivalent of slave rebellions was even more, what's the word? More extreme. But when you look at everything that got us to this point, right, from 1492 when Columbus first got to the Americas to now, right? It's not a surprise that we're here. It's not a surprise that Republicans don't have a fucking spine and bow down to this pedophile. It's not a surprise that Democrats also want this to happen, and I'm talking corporate, not progressives. It's not surprising, but it's also pisses you off at the same time, knowing 75% of our Congress wants what's going on right now, right? And so if any of you are watching this, get the fuck organizing. Get with socialist progressive groups who don't stand for this shit whatsoever. Get fucking involved. And let's just fucking end this, right? And when Democrats stop being William Lloyd Garrison's, who the fuck knows? But things need to change. It's simple as that. And before I'll let Jens talk about this, I have two things I want to rant on. First, Republicans, I already did it a bit earlier, but I want to go further in depth. You are some of the most power-hungry individual fucks I've ever seen in my life. Plain and simple. You people disgust me every single fucking day. Every time I look in the news, it is something bad. Over and over and over again. Oh, we want to make racially profiling legal? Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, we want to do these illegal deportations that don't fucking matter and basically break the Constitution? Yeah, we can do that. Like, the only Republican I respect in that Congress is Thomas Massie. He is the only one I represent. Not I represent. The only one I respect. The only one that you should respect. Because at least he has some fucking dignity, despite the fact that I disagree with him politically, to where he can call off this shit. He is the only one consistently fucking doing this. And I'll throw Rand Paul in there too. But outside of those two, every single fucking Republican go fuck themselves for what's going on right now. People's lives are at fucking risk because of these dumbass fucking Republicans and Democrats too, which I'll get to in a second. Because of your fucking inability to fuck over people who are not white, MAGA, rich. The three explanation points. And so I sincerely hope that if Democrats ever gain power back, which if they try to steal 2026 elections, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope every single one of you fucks, including Democrats, which I'll talk about in a second, goes to fucking jail for life. Or hell, gets the death penalty. Seriously. Right? And it's only going to get worse. I would not be surprised if the army got deployed into Minnesota, despite the fact of Jacob Frey and Tim Walz repeatedly fucking over protesters. It's been the only thing that's been on my mind this entire fucking week. Right? I'll be honest, it's been a rough week because of everything that's been going on. It's been in the back of my mind every single fucking day, every single hour, just fucking thinking about this shit. Right? And so I'll move on to Democrats next because Republicans, I think I have said enough about them. They're fucking idiots. How do I say this about Democrats? Your fucking inability. Actually, you know what? I'll rephrase this. You do a good job at your job, which is be placeholders for 4 years or 8 years or however long the timeline is. Do as little change as you fucking possibly can, and make a change that only benefits you in the moment, and then allow Republicans to make things worse. That is your only fucking job for corporates, and you do a damn good job of it. Like, I mean, there's a reason why Trump's in office. There's a reason why Kamala lost. There's a reason why Walz and Frey are bitching the fucking the National Guard and only doing public hit pieces and fucking over protesters, right? There's a reason why everybody fucking disdains you. It's because you fucking suck. Right? It's just, I'm not surprised because if you look, especially during slavery, right? I'll use that as a timeline because I'm probably fucking up, and it definitely goes further than that, but I'm gonna use this just for time, right? With Abraham Lincoln not wanting to free the slaves, but the only reason why he did that was because it helped them benefit in the Civil War, right? The only way I see Democrats getting through their fucking skulls that they should stop being corporate is if they think it can win them a war. Right? And as sad and sickening as that is, it's just a hard truth, right? And so, based off what I've heard, I fully expect something to happen with DHS. They're going to find a way to fucking reform DHS when it needs to be abolished. So, fuck Republicans, fuck corporate Democrats because they fucking piss me off all the time, and just hope for some good fucking change, right? God fucking forbid. This country pisses me off so much every fucking day, knowing everything that's been going on, and yeah, man. Obviously, I'm gonna just and yeah, that's it. But one other thing I'm gonna add, I'm gonna mention Alex Petty shooting. To me, it shocked me not because of the fact that he was white and oh yeah, a white person can get killed, right? That was pretty fucking obvious to anyone who's looking at history, but it was the brutality they killed Alex Petty with, right? It wasn't Renee Good where it was like a few shots. No, it was 10 fucking people getting on his ass, and then I don't know if it was like only one person because I forget. But 10 shots being fired at him when he wasn't even armed. And yes, he did have a gun, but it had already been away from him prior to the shit. So, yeah. Fuck ICE. Abolish that shit instantly. Fuck Republicans. Fuck corporate Democrats who allow this shit to happen and make the city 10 times worse. And fuck Minneapolis police. The National Guard at least does half their job by giving coffee and donuts to protesters, but yeah, that's it.
Good on most points, to be honest. The one thing I'll say is that the way they're operating isn't surprising. Not when you go and look. You don't even really have to look. You'll just see who they hire on accident.
Proud Boys.
Shit, Proud Boys. Let's see, neo-Nazis, KKK members.
Yep.
Any damn white supremacist group. Barely any one of them. Hell, they don't even actually look at who they're hiring. Find out they were employed by ICE, even though they were the last person who ICE would actually care to employ. And then you go and see, oh wow, what a surprise! It's a sex offender, a domestic abuser, or whatever, anything bad. And the other thing is that this isn't surprising, and also it's not surprising for me because guess what? They've been doing this shit to us in broad daylight for about ever. And a lot of people say, "Well, they're essentially the modern day Gestapo." Yeah, they are. The issue with that is they are also. You want to know where the Gestapo got that from?
Jim Crow laws, baby.
Nazis, all that shit. This ain't foreign. It's already happened. And then you take a quick look and see what they're doing in detention centers. What a surprise. They're doing the same shit they did in World War II. They're doing the same shit they did for us. You have why they're color coding people? I don't know, but that's the most dystopian shit you could think of.
And oh yeah, now they have watch lists too of fucking everybody. If you speak out once, your entire family and friends are fucking on a watch list, so that's fantastic.
What is shocking to me is how easy people are making it. Specifically the people who don't even realize that they're next. They ain't stop. This thing, if this administration doesn't get impeached, prison, whatever early, ain't stopping at immigrants, ain't stopping at people of color. They coming after y'all too. Y'all ain't rich. Y'all don't matter to them.
Yeah.
That's all you'd expect for the don't tread on me people to finally. This is their fucking dream. Fascist government doing whatever fucking things it wants. Where are y'all now? Oh, I know y'all are supporting it.
Yeah.
Which to me is crazy, but isn't surprising.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing all these people now you're seeing a whole bunch of things flip. You're seeing people who were on the left all of a sudden they're ready to take up arms, whereas the people on the right are wondering why in the hell you're doing that. And the other thing is what you said. Both parties wanted this, basically. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about us. Expect every Democrat to try and yeah, we need to get on the right side. Nope. You saw what happened in the House. 7 of them voted for, what was that, 10 billion increase in funding? And I think someone said the amount of money we are putting into ICE currently could fix homelessness or hunger within the country. Or it was shit. It might be both. Another thing is, this was so fucking obvious if you took 10 seconds to actually look at what Project 2025 said.
Yep.
Shit was written right there in the open. They weren't hiding it. I really don't know what else to say because to me everything's is fucking obvious what's wrong. It's just like, what more do we need to talk about for us to say this is wrong? Do we need to say it fancier? Do we need to say it slower, or what? I happening's wrong. I guess that's what we just have to say at this point. What's happening is wrong. I don't know how else to make it any fucking clearer.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting y'all now in broad daylight.
Yep.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else makes it clearer than that. Also, for MAGA, it's like they didn't screw y'all over. They're actively screwing y'all over. They're literally saying they're screwing y'all over. So by the time y'all figure out, oh, we got screwed over, it'll already be in a damn history book. How slow these people think. That's really it. I don't know what else to say because it's obvious. For me, at least, it's pretty obvious. You literally take one look and you realize shit ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, most people don't want to look.
To end this segment, if we have anyone who we are not aware of who actively supports this shit that we have on the show and that we did not do our research prior to this, or completely forward with this, please let us know down in the comments below so we can remove the episode completely or remove their segment entirely, whatever fits best. Actually, it'd probably be remove the episode because they'd be on the entire thing. So if you need us to remove an episode because someone on our show is a fucking idiot, let us know. All right, first we're going to talk about the Browns.
Jim Schwartz, he ain't happy at all. Because apparently from things that I've seen is that he felt like he was probably going to end up with the job, and then this happened. Because I was surprised when I saw Todd Monken was the new head coach. I know you were surprised because we didn't even hear anything about that. There was probably an interview. There was probably like one post about them doing an interview, but you thought, hey, he might be following Harbaugh to New York, or he might be going back to being a college OC or something. So this to me is a surprise. You really don't want to lose Jim Schwartz at all. Just the way things are going, unless you give him a hell of a pay raise, he's probably going.
He's
and
gone.
He'll probably be, he's going to be the hottest DC, or hell, he might even get a coaching job himself. I would like to know where if Vance Joseph decides to leave Denver first, or where. But we already know about Kubiak. He's probably going to be the Raiders head coach. Last I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But for Monken, I do think it's actually a good hire, though you are losing Schwartz. Offensively, you'll finally be able to do something, maybe. Obviously, O-line needs work, and you're going to need weapons, and also how Shador is. It's going to be interesting to see.
Pro Bowl quarterback, baby, let's go.
Shador. I'm Monken with Shador, as long as he is your guy going into next year and then moving forward. Because this year, for me, feels like you're going to see what Shador can do for 1 year, and if it ain't it, we have a possibly loaded 2027 class. So for this year, Shador really has to show that he was screwed over in the draft and shows that he can be a franchise guy. Otherwise, he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do think Todd Monken definitely can get that type of franchise guy out of him, as long as he puts the pieces around him. But I am anxious to see where he goes hiring wise in terms of his staff. And obviously the main thing, bringing back Schwartz, if possible.
So I will say two things about this. First, Schwartz is definitely gone. He's out of there. He's not coming back. And second, I don't disagree with Monken being a head coach. To be honest, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It definitely surprised all of us because we thought he was going to Ohio State, right? Or being OC somewhere else, not the head coach of the Browns.
We all know who's at Ohio State now.
Oh yeah, whoever their tight end
Smith,
is.
Arthur
Their tight
Smith.
end's about to have 100 catches. Their tight end's about to be the lean receiver ahead of Jeremiah Smith. Classic Browns fuck up of thinking you have the DC in hand and then you lose him. That's just classic Browns at this point. Classic mismanagement. I don't know what else there is to say other than this is just the Browns fuck up. Good hire by Bonkin, but it's not the fact you just lost Schwartz. You lost Schlaus as well, the Rams passing coordinator, right? You lost out on another young guy, which I completely forget about, right? It's just classic mismanagement by the Browns. And that's why the Browns are the Browns. That's why they were the way they were for 15 years. And I would suppose we're going to see more of that in the future. So, Browns, congratulations. You fucked yourself. Congratulations on ruining Myles Garrett's Hall of Fame career. Congratulations, Browns. You fucked yourself over. Well done. You deserve a round of applause. Next, we have an interesting one. Mike McCarthy gets to coach his hometown team in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is not something I would have done if I were the Steelers. I'm assuming this hire, I'm assuming Tomlin left on his own terms, and that their goal is to continue to go 9-8, and somehow Rodgers is coming back. Like, what the fuck are we doing, Pittsburgh? I don't know how you get to this ownership's head, Dan Rooney's head, whoever the owner is, whatever Rooney it is, that you need to fucking blow the team up and start rebuilding. Right? Like, drafting Ty Simpson late round 1 because someone's going to do it, unfortunately, it's going to be who, doesn't make it any better that you're probably going to go 10-7 again, or 9-8, or 8-9. Right? Why the fuck are we just holding on to this hope we can compete for divisions every single year? Right? You're not there as a team. You have to rebuild in order to reach the ultimate goal of the Super Bowl. Right? If your goal is not to win a Super Bowl, well done. You're doing a fantastic job. But clearly, this franchise is just going to be middling. It will be middling, and it's just the NBA's version of Chicago Bulls. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say other than that. I hope Mike McCarthy succeeds in his hometown team, but it's the NFL Chicago Bulls for you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you for mentioning my Bulls. We are in perpetual play.
I didn't realize you were a Bulls fan. God damn it.
So, McCarthy, another thing. How is he going to make a staff? Arthur Smith is gone. Your DC is gone. I did see that one of the Raiders coach is going to Pittsburgh to interview for the DC spot. Mm-hmm. I had his name and then it's just slipped my tongue. Mm-hmm. My main thing for McCarthy is that look at the last 2 quarterbacks he's had to work with. He had prime Aaron Rodgers and he had Dak. So if there's one thing this hire tells me is that they are sick and tired of not having a guy at quarterback. And given McCarthy's track record, you can become a guy under McCarthy's coaching as a quarterback. So I do think if Rodgers does come back, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, because at the end of the day, if you can have Rodgers for cheap for 1 more year and then get your guy in 2027, okay. It's better than, not better than, but regardless what you do, this year is going to be a bridge year unless you really believe in Ty Simpson. Mm-hmm. Maybe that could be something is hiring. Really believe in Ty Simpson and you believe McCarthy can get the most out of Ty Simpson. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this hiring is a setup for 2027 and afterwards. Get your guy in the draft, develop him, obviously. See what happens. Offensively, y'all are going to be pretty. They're going to be pretty good. McCarthy doesn't have bad offenses. I can say that at least. So, to recap, really, it's what can he do? What can he do with the staff? What will he do with his staff positions? Maybe bring in. I know this is crazy to say, but Jim Schwartz would be a pretty dope hire. He'd be getting to work alongside some damn good edge rushers, damn good defensive players. What they do at quarterback is obviously important. Are they going to run it back one more year with Rodgers? Are they going to go for Ty Simpson? Are they going to go for a bridge quarterback, for example, Murray or Tua? Or do they think they can land Malik Willis in free agency and he could be the guy? I don't know what you're doing at quarterback, so I can't really say a whole lot on this hire because I don't know what else he's doing, what else he's going to do with his staff. But hometown guy, not much wrong with that. Getting a hometown guy who does have a Super Bowl ring. You can't forget that he did win it all at one point. You will not have the most offensive woes, though you will have some questionable decision making at times. Though not as bad as you'd think.
Yeah.
Really all I have to say. I don't think it's the worst hire. I don't think it's the best hire, but it is a solid hire for what you're wanting, what you want to maybe be doing.
Next thing, Brian Daboll is the new Titans offensive coordinator. And obviously, this is because he didn't get the Bills job. He just ended up taking an OC job, and it just happened he grew close with Robert Saleh, and that's how he is currently in Tennessee. Now, I hope that Brian Daboll is a lot more careful with Cam Ward, which I think he will, because Cam Ward's less mobile than Jackson Dart. Like, just don't be stupid with him. Just protect him. Just allow him to grow in the offense. Don't do what you did with Dart, to put it quite mildly, right? And people have been arguing with me that Daboll is not at fault for Dart not sliding and taking risk and get injured, right? And I get the way they used Daboll. It had to happen, right? It was just a matter of fact, or else he was gone, right? But to not take a young single caller's future health into regard, even though you're on your final, even though it's a fact that you had to do it, like, at least minimize it to like some sort of degree, or force him to fucking slide, drill it in his fucking head, and not do that, because clearly we didn't see that on tape whatsoever. It's just poor. It's just mismanagement, neglect of a young QB, right? And I don't think he'll do that with Ward. I don't think he'll do that with Ward, just because I think they're two different players. But don't fuck over Ward, please. Don't fuck over Ward's future like you do with Dart, like, please. Right? And yeah, I hope Tennessee is actually watchable this year, and I hope Cam Ward doesn't have to die in the pocket, but please get him some good coach. Just please, for the fucking love of God, just get him any sort of fucking help with Tennessee.
Yeah, I think things are coming around quite well. Brian Daboll, to me, this is they're trying to do what he did. They're trying to get the same development that Josh Allen got when he was with the Bills. That's obviously what this hire tells us. The issue is there's a lot to work around. I do think they are pretty high in cap space this upcoming offseason. It should be necessary for them to do so because there's a lot of work that they need to do on this roster. I think there's two main issues offensively, the O-line and the wide receiver core. For me, the wide receiver core, I do think that that's something that will be better over time, simply because majority of your production at wide receiver this year were from day 3 rookies. Kyle Manor, DK, and then you had the Texas tight end. They need a lot of, but even then, you cannot base your future on late round wide receivers. You got to go out and get a guy. So one really important thing for me, for this coaching staff, is what you're going to do at pick 4. Because you could go multiple ways here. You could go receiver, you could go offensive tackle, offensive line, you could go defensively if you want. If it's first pick, but I think personally that they'll agree and say we need to help Cam Ward, be it protection wise or weapon wise. One thing I have to say when it comes to Daboll and Giants and all that, this is a completely different situation. It's not he's not going to be coaching like he has to save his job. That's how it felt like the Giants this season. It felt like he was trying to save his job with Jackson Dart. And to be honest with Jackson Dart, though I agree with you, there should have been a bigger emphasis on protecting himself. That's just not how Jackson Dart plays football. When the moment he gets out the pocket, he's going to try and lay a motherfucker out. And then you add on to Cam Scadaboo's influence. Yeah, I don't think that man is ever sliding again. Scadaboo, him and Scadaboo in the same backfield all the time. I also think Cam Ward is. He obviously takes care of it. He will take care of himself. He'll take care of the ball better. But he slides. I don't think there's going to be an emphasis on having him slide because he already does that. Or he just throws the ball away, like smart quarterback.
Yeah.
I do think things are shaping up well for Tennessee. You have two guys who are really good and quite good at what they do. It's Salah and Dabble, and I am excited to see what they're able to do because I do think this team can be a 500 team as long as you put the pieces around Ward and you manage to develop Ward for his development. So Dabble for me is the right step in the step in the right direction for Ward's development, and you could see similar jumps to what Josh Allen saw in the coming years.
And finally, we have, I think, the only guy on this list who's Ballin right now, currently, or in the process of Ballin. Sean Mannion has been hired as the Eagles' offensive coordinator. Now, the only note I have on this, because I'm assuming he's going to run a Packers-style offense, if I had to guess, but the one thing I am going to say about this hire is thank God they didn't fire in-house. I have a lot more confidence in this team without ever looking at Sean Mannion's play calling that they're going to be a better offense because they didn't hire in-house, right? And so, and even then, right, even if this hiring flops, Sirianni's gone, right? So for Eagles fans, I think you get the best of both worlds because it's like, oh, cool, we're going to make the Super Bowl if this guy pans out, or we get rid of Sirianni and the streets will be celebrating, right? And it'll be fantastic for everybody involved. So I think it's a win-win for the Eagles fans specifically, because they either are done with Sirianni or they get another chance at the Super Bowl. Either or. So good for Eagles fans, and I wish you the best in getting rid of that and getting rid of Sirianni.
I don't know much about the guy they're hiring, given how well he was their quarterback coach, correct?
Green Bay's quarterback coach, yes.
If this offense is similar to what Green Bay did, that is scary. Because one, we will see AJ Brown deep shots. We will see a lot. We're going to see a lot more riskier throws from Jalen Hurts. I do think that is exactly what you need. You need to be able to challenge teams deep because this year they weren't doing that, and they couldn't run the ball effectively because everybody knew they were just going to run short pass, or run medium, and then you'll just have a random deep shot, no setup or anything. So if they are able to get this offense to down the field through the air, you're going to open up so many things. And also, thank goodness I don't have to watch inside zone, or inside zone. Ass.
Yes.
Unfortunately, if this ends up being a great hire, I will have to deal with it 2 weeks every year.
I mean, as a Patriots fan, we have to deal with it next year too. So hopefully,
you're in the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear.
We're about to get fucking blown up by Seattle. It doesn't really matter.
You don't know that.
Yes, if we somehow make it close, I'm happy with the result. I'll be happy with that. If we end up winning, I'll be fucking shocked. But I've heard people say it's going to be closer than people think, which will actually transition into conference championship games now. So I'll start with the AFC then, because I won the Bucket Network Bowl by being the last team standing, so let's go. But first with the AFC, thank God we got out of there. I thought we were going to choke that for a second, but luckily we were able to pull away. Congratulations to Mike Vrabel for finally turning it around. But not finally turning around, but getting the ship turned around after everything that happened with Jerron Bayo last year, where it was not good whatsoever. It was absolutely miserable to be in that building. Shout out Drake May for playing his ass off to get here in the first place. He's not 100%. I don't know if he'll be 100% for the Super Bowl, but we'll see. Just shout out to everybody involved that helped us get here, right? That's the best thing I can say about the Patriots. And they deserve it because the Broncos, Bo Nix got injured. They should be the team that's here. But it sucks the way the championship game went because I do think Broncos fans were robbed of potential Super Bowl run. Or potential Super Bowl appearance. Now I'll talk on the Broncos side, right? You were not expected to win this game whatsoever, right? And you made it close, 10-7, right? Obviously, Will Lutz missing the field goal early in the game. I'm not talking about the one that got blocked. Him missing the field goal early in the game sucked. But at the end of the game, that's not his fault. It ended up getting blocked by Leonard Taylor, former 5-star recruit out of Miami. Let's go. This has to be depressing. This has to be depressing for Broncos fans because when you're on the verge of doing something like making the Super Bowl, and then your QB fractures his ankle the second to last play of the game, that just has to be the most depressing feeling ever. And it just felt like raps, honestly. Indianapolis Stidham did have one good drive. Everything else just showed, to me at least, why I didn't think he was going to make that much of a difference, and that clearly showed in this game. So, hang your hats high, Broncos fans. I don't know if you'll be back here, but hopefully for your sake, you'll be back here in the future. Just for your sake, because that's fucking depressing. And finally, Rams and Seahawks. Shout out to the Rams for figuring out everything the Seahawks did because of Byron Murphy's alignments on a defensive line. Shout out to them for that. They did a good job, quite honestly, of keeping this game close. Even though ref ball completely got in their way of Seattle's way and nearly fucked them over, they were able to overcome that taunted penalty and win the game. So I hope Seattle doesn't murder us because I'm sure they want to kill our ass for 2015, Malcolm Butler specifically, and I'm sure it would vindicate the entire city of Seattle that they kicked our ass. So shout out to Seattle for making it. You're also under year one coach, under a second year coach in Mike McDonald, and fair play to them also having a quick turnaround as well. And I completely realized I just skipped over you for both parts, so I'll let you talk over Reels too real quick. God damn it.
Broncos, y'all played a lot better than what I thought was going to happen. I thought it'd be pretty close early on, but then it would more than likely snowball, ironically, into a bigger Patriots deficit. But it felt it was a game all the way through. Mm-hmm. Just straight up, it was a game all the way to the fourth quarter, ending in that game did not really end until the end of the fourth quarter. So Stidham, he did better than what I thought he was going to be able to do. I didn't think he'd even score a touchdown that damn early or at all. But at the end of the day, quarterback play is what mattered, and quarterback play is what you got out of Drake May, and you're heading to the Super Bowl. And for the Rams Seahawks, that was one of the best games of the year. Then again, to be fair, this year kind of just started, so it might be the
season.
Season, best game of one of the best games of the season. I can't really say that I didn't expect Seahawks to win, but at one point in this game, I truly thought the Rams were going to win it. The Puka touchdown after the taunting penalty, that was one of the moments in which I thought, oh, they might actually pull this one off. But obviously, Sam Darnold showed why he's the guy for Seattle moving forward. And that defense played out of its fucking mind to end in that game. There's one play that was kind of pointed out recently, and it was the play on fourth down in the red zone. It was supposed to be a 3-man rush. Lawrence wasn't actually supposed to bail out. Lawrence just saw that the safety got beat and just fucking bailed. And that screwed over Stafford, because Stafford definitely saw his receiver winning that. And he looks, it's just like, why is DeMarcus Lawrence there? So he had to go back to his other reads, and they ended up getting that stop. Moments like that is what's going to end up winning you the Super Bowl. Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Possibly.
We're going to talk about two prospects. One that we think is underrated as hell, and the other that is overrated as hell. So I'll go first. So for my most underrated prospect of this class, this is a pretty new one, and I may get shit on for this pick because he did just break out only a few days ago. But it's Ty Montgomery out of John Carroll, right? When Watched him at the Senior Bowl, right, against day 3 corners, right, and Colton Hood will probably go day 2, right. He's torturing the shit out of every single fucking one of them, and it's not even particularly close. He is destroying the fuck out of everyone, right. That is what you're supposed to do if you are a top tier talent at the Senior Bowl, and it is shit on them, and he's doing that consistently, right. Does he turn 25 in July? Yes, he does, right. Do his hands, at least in practice reps, cause concern? Maybe, but from what I can see on tape, it looks like he catches everything, right? When you watch D3 tape, right, specifically against Mountain Union, you can clearly tell he's the best guy on the field. It feels like an NFL player watching high school kids. Like, legitimately, it's not even funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's. I definitely think he will be a starter day 1. I have a round 2 grade on him right now, just because number 1, he played D3, and I would like to see him against round 1 corners, and 2, because he is 25. That's the only reason why he's round 2 for me. But the kid can play, right? Obviously, there's also some other stuff, like maybe not the greatest short quickness, more of a long speed guy than anything else, but the kid can play, right? And I shouldn't be saying kid because this guy's fucking older than me, but
He's older than the both of us. I was gonna point that out, but you realized it on your own.
But the dude can play, right? So yeah, I think he'll just be a baller. He'll probably have a Joe Horn career where he comes to the league at 27. Not the league comes into the league at 27. Comes to the league, balls out, gets a huge ass money contract, and then go lives his life. So I think that'll happen with him. Now, my most overrated prospect. We can have multiple names of fire on this list.
Yeah.
Let
me guess about 3 of them. I want to guess about 3 of them.
Yep.
Let's see. First one, the main one. You say he's overrated as shit. Francis Maui Goa, to me, is the main one for you.
He is not on the list. He is not on that list.
He's not?
Nope. I have 3. The 3 I'm thinking of, he's not on there. I don't think he's. I think he can go round 1, but not at 6.
No. Otto. Spencer Fano.
Yes, that's one.
Okay. Ooh, TJ Parker. So he has had some damn good Senior Bowl practice.
I'll throw.
I
haven't figured out the 3rd spot, so I'll throw him as like a 4th spot type of guy, and just whoever you pick as 3, you can make up your mind. But there's a clear number 1. You know it.
Do I?
Yes.
Is it Denzel Paulson?
No. I do think he's in the Parker tier as well.
What position is it?
I'll give you a hint. I've made a video on this.
You made a video on him.
Yep.
That doesn't fucking help. Because I'm thinking like Ty Simpson.
You can throw him in the Parker tier as well.
Oh wait, I'm a dumbass. David Bailey. I know he's your most overrated player. Why did it take me so long? Just like, oh yeah, David Bailey.
There we go. Well done. Well fucking done. If you've not been on my TikTok or YouTube or anything like that, I have a very specific video I made in October about David Bailey being overrated. I do think he is a bit better now than I thought back then, but I do think he is still overrated. And the reason why I say that is this guy's getting Ruben Bain comps. Like, they're comparing them on a similar level, which I think is fucking ridiculous.
They're not the same player.
Not the same player, but also not the same level of player of how good they are. Right? Bain should be a 1st-round pick. Right? If he falls to round 2, it's because of measurements. I don't give a fuck. That kid's awesome. Right? He's older than me too. God damn it. That dude's awesome. David Bailey, first of all, he does have long arms, right? But you rarely do shit in the run game. In fact, I have Romello Height much highly graded than him, right? Because I could just think Romello Height, despite him being 235 soaking wet, does a fuck ton more things than Bailey. I think he's more explosive. I think he contributes more in the run game. I think he has a better first step. I just think he is better at everything when it comes to David Bailey. In terms of David Bailey. Now, with David Bailey, I'm not comparing him to Mike Green because TJ Parker is getting those comparisons right now. But with Bailey, he is stiff, like extremely fucking stiff. Right? And most of the time, he wins in the same way as Cassius Howell, as in terms of they just do it by fucking effort. Right? And so...
Which isn't a bad thing.
that's not a bad thing, but in NFL terms, you need more of an effort, right? Like, and so to me, is that a first round pick? No, I don't think that's a first round pick to me. Just simply being a good effort rusher who can do like maybe some things in the run game, doesn't take contact that well, right? There's just a bunch of things, and so I do think Bailey can be a good edge rusher 3 on some team, but to think he's a top 10 pick in the draft is just complete fucking bullshit once you realize what's on tape, right? And I'll get more into this as we go on, but the corner class I think is the best in this class, and it's not particularly close. And people who say this edge rusher class is deep, it's just it's just Ruben Bain and a bunch of day 2 to day 3 guys. That's just the class in general. So Bailey is my most overrated player because I don't think he is a game record at the NFL level. I don't think he will be. I think he can be solid. Do I think he can be the guy? Fuck no. And I don't expect that out of him. I think he will be just a DPR throughout his career who may grow into some run stuff, but that's someone you take in day 3, not in day 1.
This is probably gonna piss you off, but
Yep.
is David Bailey just a worse? Is David Bailey just what people thought James Pierce Jr. was?
No.
No.
No. James Pierce is infinitely better.
A lot of people.
Bailey.
I know he's a lot better, but a lot of people just thought James Pierce Jr. just wasn't the guy.
No, it's because of him getting overhyped as and everything. Like he does stuff. He is a good pass rusher, right? But there's also the character stuff as well, which I'm not gonna go into specific
Ended up
details.
being. I don't think that ended up being an issue. They love him in fucking Atlanta.
It was more maturity than anything else.
So I can't really say I have an overrated player yet. I will say I probably do have an underrated player.
Do you piss me off? That's the real question.
Like there are guys like Genesis Smith. Obviously, D'Angelo Pons is the main one because we hear it all the time. Oh my gosh, if he was 6'1", he'd be fucking first rounder. Shit, why can't he be first rounder at 5'9"? I know why, but just watching the dude fucking play football is so fun. He's such a damn good corner.
Yeah, he'll be good in the league as a nickel for a long time.
Here's a good one. Jeremy Bernard. I receive out of Alabama. I feel like it's a category I like to call obviously good football player. Jeremy Bernard fits that category. It's just like he catches everything. He can do anything on the field if you need him to be. If he's a gadget player, bam, draft him as a gadget player. If you need him to be your reliable wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, bam, you can do that shit. If you need him to be wide receiver 1 for a season before you get your top end talent, he can do that. He can do damn near anything on the field. He has pretty good size for a wide receiver. He has speed, obviously, as we see in some fucking ass crazy plays that he's made throughout his years at Bama and Washington. I just think he's just a good football player. He's probably going to go day 2. He'll probably go in the second round. I do think he should, at the minimum, be a second rounder. But don't be surprised if someone takes a chance on him in the day 1. Mm-hmm. I'm dead serious on that.
I do agree with you. He can go in round 1, depending on who's on the board. I do think that can be a possibility.
Genuinely good football player. That's really the main guy.
So since he has no one I don't hate David Bailey, by the way, but since he has no one he hates enough to name his most overrated player, that's the end of the show. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We want to continue to grow this collective network, so make sure you guys go subscribe down below. Make sure you guys fuck with everything, and we'll see you guys next week where we talk about the Super Bowl, and hopefully Fancy and Jack are here to talk about it. So see ya.